I was asked recently by someone, what is sin? And I had to think, how do I explain something so disgusting that to God becomes a stench? I took it to prayer. I spent some days awaiting my answer, but then it came. This here is just to explain how God has taken our dirty rags and made us clean. What is sin? This is an amputee who loves the aching as the weather shifts, that reminds them of the limb they used to have that's now gone. It's the cry of a baby in the middle of the night in a house where this single mother's only child was stillborn. The longing, yearning, bittersweet nostalgia of the relationship with your abuser that you thought you deserved. This is the desperate cry for the reminder of what art looks like, from the blind painter who lost his only escape that made him feel heard. It hurts to feel that your worth has been stripped from you. The missing of your spouse that died in 6 weeks from an unknown disease and left you with nobody to listen to. The sound of gunshots ringing in your sleep, reminding you of the war you barely survived. Watching every friend you gained in battle die as you held them and promised it would be all right. It hurts. But can pain raise you when you're blaming your mishaps on it? Can the fire really change you if all you do inside of it is complain that you're not a product of it? I know it hurts to face this mirror, questioning who this is. Where's that child inside me hiding? I need a safe place to retreat, and it seems implausible to find the old you. This new you seems to have killed him. As tears stream down your cheek every morning, you beg to hear his laugh, but you know he's dead because you can't feel him. I said it hurts. But that apple tasted good, right? He whispered that you should just take a bite and become a god. You knew you would, right? But you were wrong. You condemned us all, and you knew this would, right? How can you ever be redeemed after that night? I know somebody that could, right? Though we fell, I learned that work could actually be good, right? My children may suffer, but this is all for our good, right? It has to be. God didn't kill us, and that's good, right? He said he would send a lamb to be our sacrifice, and only a lamb could, right? This victory was already planned. He knew the fall we would encounter. This history can't be a surprise to him. He predestined us to overcome this gruesome hour. The power is resting in his hand, and one day it'll be ours. When they raised his body, the trumpet sounded because his battle cry became ours. We are Israel. We reign like God. None other besides us can claim this. The devil may have bruised the heel of humanity, but his head will get crushed with the same kick. I might have soiled my perfection now, but one day I'll be clean again. Because one day I'll be able to say I am stamped with his name again. The weight of sin doesn't compare to the weight of anointing that graced this chin. It drenched my head and ran down to the place my name was scripted. This book of life is all I'm after. I'll never be the same again because Jesus Christ died for me. And for that, let me get to praising him. I said he rose. He shook off death and stepped on earth with new clothes. The grave was blown open. They thought the body was stolen. They didn't know that his word had come to pass. We are the fruit of his grace. He walked out of his grave. So when I do, I'm just doing what my daddy did in the first place. The serpent exchanged his lowly authority for what was rightfully ours. And we were too ignorant to see that our future almost got devoured. But as I stand here today, it's only because Jesus retook that power, snatched the keys to death and hell, then asked, "Where's your sting now?" I know the man who holds those keys. He comes to visit this place often. Whether I see his second coming or not, I will not stay in a coffin. It's just a bed to rest a while until he parts the clouds and enters. And all I wanted to do today was get you all to remember. We may fall, we may slip, but God is still in our midst. He steadies our feet, dents the clay, and is back to work again. We have the power to resurrect. If you feel dead, start speaking life and watch how Jesus pays what we thought was too high of a price, and that is grace. It enlivens us, blows on the fire inside of us. So that same spirit the apostles had is now what resides in us. Jesus Christ is our King. So stand to your feet if you know that he lives, and let your worship be the weapon that makes hell want to wish we didn't exist.